Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a hidden valley known only to the creatures of the enchanted forest. This valley, called the Valley of the Fairies, was a magical place where the air sparkled with dust from the wings of the fairies who lived there. The valley was filled with vibrant flowers, tall, lush trees, and gentle streams that glittered under the sun like liquid silver. It was a land of peace and harmony, where time seemed to stand still. The fairies in this valley were not like the ones in common tales, who were mischievous or cunning. These fairies were kind-hearted and filled with wonder. They spent their days helping the creatures of the forest and protecting the natural world around them. They had the power to heal wounded animals, encourage plants to grow, and even bring rain during dry spells. Their leader was Queen Lyra, a wise and graceful fairy who wore a crown made of moonlight and stardust. But the peace of the valley was not always secure. On the outskirts of the valley lived a dark sorcerer named Malvor, whose heart was filled with greed and jealousy. Malvor longed for the power of the fairies, believing that with their magic he could rule over all the lands. He had spent years searching for the hidden valley, and one day he finally discovered its location. Disguised as a humble traveler, Malvor entered the Valley of the Fairies. He charmed his way into the hearts of the fairies, pretending to be a kind and gentle man. Queen Lyra, known for her kindness, welcomed him into their world. Little did she know, Malvor had sinister plans to steal the magic of the valley and enslave the fairies to his will. One evening, when the moon was full and the stars twinkled brightly above, Malvor set his plan into motion. He used his dark magic to create a storm that raged across the valley, knocking down trees and scattering the fairies. In the chaos, he captured Queen Lyra, and with a curse, he stole her power. The valley began to wilt, and the once vibrant flowers began to fade. The streams dried up, and the air grew heavy with sadness. However, not all was lost. Among the fairies, there was a young and brave fairy named Lyra, a cousin of Queen Lyra. She had long admired her queen's wisdom and kindness, and she refused to give up without a fight. With a heart full of courage, Lyra set off on a journey to find the ancient crystal of light, a powerful artifact hidden deep within the enchanted mountains. Legend said that the crystal of light could break any curse and restore balance to the world. Lyra's journey was long and difficult. She crossed treacherous paths, braved dark forests, and faced numerous challenges. Along the way, she befriended many creatures who had once been helped by the fairies, kind-hearted animals who gave her advice and tools to aid her on her quest. There was a wise owl who told her the path to the crystal, a gentle deer who helped her cross a river, and a playful squirrel who guided her through the mountain pass. Finally, after many trials, Lyra reached the heart of the enchanted mountains, where the crystal of light was hidden in a cave, guarded by a fierce dragon. The dragon, however, was not as fearsome as it seemed. Lyra spoke to the dragon with kindness, explaining her mission, and the dragon, sensing the purity of her heart, allowed her to take the crystal. With the crystal of light in her hands, Lyra returned to the Valley of the Fairies. The valley was now a shadow of its former self, and the fairies were desperate. But Lyra did not give up. With the crystal, she confronted Malvor, who had taken control of the valley's magic. The sorcerer laughed at her, thinking that he had already won. But Lyra, with all her courage, held the crystal high, and it began to glow with a blinding light. The light shattered Malvor's dark magic, breaking his curse over Queen Lyra and restoring the valley to its natural beauty. The storm stopped. The flowers bloomed once again, and the streams sparkled with life. Malvor, stripped of his powers, was forced to leave the valley, never to return. Queen Lyra, now free, embraced Lyra, praising her bravery and determination. The valley's magic was restored, and the fairies rejoiced. Lyra was celebrated as a hero, and from that day forward, She was known as the guardian of the Valley of the Fairies. The Valley of the Fairies once again became a place of peace, love, and magic. The fairies continued their work of protecting the natural world, and the creatures of the forest lived in harmony. Lyra, with her heart full of hope and courage, continued to watch over the valley, ensuring that it would always remain safe from harm. And so, the Valley of the Fairies thrived, a timeless reminder that courage, kindness, and love are the greatest magic of all.